Welcome to Spark the Change India and the Spark Cafe, where we're having global conversations about change. Well, good morning or good afternoon. I guess we are across time zones again today. Welcome to the Spark Cafe for Spark the Change India. I'm here today in Canada, and I have Sarika Karbanda, who's in Pune, India. And then we have Rich Batchelor. And where are you from today, Rich?
I'm actually in Toronto as well.
Are you?
Yes, I am. The accent's always a bit of a confusion for people. I'm originally from the UK, but I'm based in Toronto.
Well, you Welsh people are a bit funny.
Yeah, I've been told that many times.
Yeah. So we're only across 2 time zones today, which is awesome. So I'm going to kick off by welcoming everybody, and I'm going to introduce Sarika. And Sarika Karbanda is an entrepreneur and lean change facilitator, coach, and trainer with over 20 years experience working across the globe. And in a second, you'll see why. It'll blow your mind. So her passion is be the change you want to see in the world. Her global experience in helping organizations transform and increase business agility has spanned, hold your breath, Poland, the Czech Republic, the Nordic countries, the UK, India, Singapore, and the US, and soon to be Canada.
Yay!
Yay! Using her key strengths built over core values of integrity, intelligence, and energy, she pursues excellence in both her personal life and, more importantly, how she strives to work with clients to help build the growth mindset and a flexible change toolkit into the hands of change champions. Sarika is now the program chair of Spark the Change India and is bringing Spark brand to India for the first time. And I forgot to introduce myself again.
Yes, I was about to say that, and you also need to say your name. We haven't said your name, Elizabeth.
No, again. So my name's Elizabeth Plouffe, and I have been part of the Spark the Change Toronto team for the past 4 years. And I'm now a part of the Spark the Change India team. And that's all you really need to know about me, because I'm not the important people today. Sarika and Rich are. So I'm going to pass it over to the wonderful Sarika, who's going to share her lovely wisdom.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah. So let's add to more to what Elizabeth just shared about herself, because that's not sufficient. She's an amazing member of the Spark the Change India team. You knew I would say that. And in fact, we are delighted to have someone with a lot of experience working in the other Sparks, especially in Spark Toronto, to be as part of the organizing team of Spark the Change India. So thank you, Elizabeth, for being a part of our team. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
So a bit about the Spark brand itself. I think it's a well-known brand, but I think it deserves, a bit to share with everybody here. And I know Rich's been involved with Spark Toronto too, and we'll come to that soon after we introduce him. But Spark's a brand really with a global footprint, and that has gone all across from London, Montreal, Toronto, Melbourne, Amsterdam, Paris, I believe, coming now, and of course now bringing it to India. And I'm really delighted to bring it to India, especially because it's a real global conference that one can learn from. The amount of experience that people come in, especially the global change practitioners, the lean change agents, the leaders, the consultants, the coaches. All coming from across the globe, and also from different industries, because it's really not an IT kind of a conference. It's really something that brings different industries together. And with that, people who are as passionate about change as we are on this call today at Spark Cafe, I think that's what really helps build this sparking high energy global movement of change, which Spark itself is. So yeah, thank you all for being a part of this Spark Cafe discussion that we have for Spark the Change India. And with that, let's introduce our awesome Spark speaker for today, Rich Batchelor. I'm going to give you a short introduction, Rich, and of course, feel free to add to it after in case I miss something. So I know Rich to be an international change professional from Canada, but yeah, he's worked successfully delivering change over 25 years, pretty much globally, his legacy, of course, also includes developing change delivery models for the UK government. And he's also been a founding member of the Association of Change Management Professionals. He's had a lot of international speaking engagements. The recent one I know was Berlin, the Change Days at Berlin. We spoke about that. But I would also like to highlight that he's been involved in Spark the Change Toronto. And maybe you should start by telling us about, your involvement in Spark the Change Toronto, and then take it forward to tell us why do you believe you should speak at Spark the Change India?
All right, perfect. Thank you. So I absolutely love the Spark brand, the old ethos, the idea of it. And it's interesting because I co-presented with a colleague of mine at Spark the Change Toronto, where we did a piece using rhythms of music to actually get people to understand the disruption, sort of affiliating that rhythm of a drum beat to the drumbeat of a culture of an organization, and how when that changes, the drumbeat changes, and the difficulties of taking that forward. And it's really a reflection, I think, we could talk through all my history of who I've worked with and all this stuff, but my passion is about really getting people to think differently about change and use different techniques and different ways of doing things to actually understand how change and all the different tools and techniques that they want to bring together in change can really be used to take things forward, so that it's not something that's about ticking off checklists or going through boxes and stuff like that. It's something that really actually plays to people being about change thinking and thinking in a way that helps them to take change forward. And for me, the idea of coming to India with this brand and bringing something totally different again to the space in India is really about tapping into what I've always experienced as being an enthusiastic audience in India. I've had the privilege to work a couple of times in the Indian area, and every time I've worked with people there, the enthusiasm to actually take things forward and be encouraged, for me as a presenter, for me as somebody who learns themselves from the way people interact, and the actual I suppose excitement is perhaps a good way of putting it, for people to just learn new things always really gives me a great energy when I come to India.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can guarantee that the Spark participants are going to bring that energy and enthusiasm also from you, especially with their interactions with you once you're here for the talk, and even before that. So it's interesting, right? And yeah,
I think it's a great opportunity, and what I really like as well is for me, the sort of stuff that I'm bringing to Spark the Change India as well is going to be not about killing somebody to death with PowerPoint slides. I hate that idea. So many conferences you go to, you sit there and you feel that you need to get your matchsticks underneath your eyelids to keep yourself open and awake going through these things. And I'm like, okay, just give me the book. I'll read it in my own time. I don't need to sit here and be talked at for this length of time. So I really like when we do a conference, and I think Spark really captures that we get away from having death by PowerPoint situations, and we get people feeling hands-on, learning as they do things, getting involved in stuff and going forward with their own personal development journey that's more than just reading books.
Right. And it's really interesting because when Rich and I have been talking about the Spark talk that Rich submitted and, why the name, and we'll come to that. So it was very interesting when he said, but I'm not going to have any presentations around it, and probably 4 slides and that's it. And, not more, and you don't need more. And It was awesome to hear that, right? And it's just some instruction set of what's going to happen. And that was cool. Yeah. So, but just add to it, Rich, if you have to something else. But it was fascinating, and I was quite excited. I was like, this is awesome. We don't need slides for this. So it's of course cool and avoids death by PowerPoint. Why not?
Oh yeah. I was just going to say, I will admit I actually did my PowerPoint slides last night, and I have got 5 slides. So I've got 5. I know I said it'd only be 4, but there's 5. So
That's
I do
it.
apologize.
Oh my God.
That's
Over.
it. I've broken my own rule of 4, but it's going to be 5. But they're 5.
We need to discuss this, huh? We need to discuss this, really.
Well, you just said there are 5 good ones, so that's,
Yeah, 5 good ones. 5 good ones.
Yeah, but it's interesting. So your Spark title is "Can you feel the bricks, the Lego bricks?" And when when the rest of the team and I saw this, and we were like, that's a very mysterious title. What is he really trying to say? And we went, oh, maybe there's more to it. And then, of course, we read about what you said. We looked at the 1-minute video abstract. And again, I know how it took Rich to record that abstract. He was traveling all across, and he was like in the hotel room. Okay, I need to get this video abstract out. Okay, let's go for it, which was really cool. And we got the message out of that, which was really cool. But the title's really mysterious. And I think it would be interesting to still keep it mysterious to an extent for the Spark participants. But at the same time, if you can unveil something about a bit more about this talk, it would be lovely.
Sure. And I think it's important as well that, it plays on what I was just saying about people getting hands-on. So these things here, Lego bricks, are what we're going to be getting involved with. And why I say feel the bricks is because we so often think about learning in terms of what we see or what we hear, but it's also important about what we feel. And for a lot of people, actually getting hands-on and doing things help people to learn. So the whole idea of using Lego as a learning tool, and I'm fortunate I'm one of the certified facilitators and workshop designers for Lego Serious Play. So, I've been playing in around this space for quite some time and everything. And anybody, when it comes to conference, talk to me about all the sorts of different things that we can do with Lego Serious Play, because there's amazing stuff that you can do. But, in the short time that we're going to be together, I really want to just have a capture where people can explore how they're feeling about the conference, maybe use Lego bricks to build something that's reflective of what they've been experiencing, what they've been seeing. We'll kind of fine tune maybe a question nearer the data. Again, I don't want to be too prescriptive on this because I want it to be really relevant to the actual conference on the day itself. So we actually get something on that. And of course, because it's me and I have that rebel side to me, there's going to be a twist to it. I'm not going to say what the twist is, but there will be a twist to it as well. And that twist, you'll only find out when you actually turn up on the day. And I can assure you that everybody will be participating in that twist. So that's
troublemaker.
To do. I'm not a troublemaker. I just like to make people expand the way they think about things.
I can say that at the Spark Toronto, when you and Nick ran that session, the people that were involved, not one person was disengaged at any time. I mean, once they got into it and sort of understood what you were trying to do with the beat and the drum, I remember watching, and not one person, everybody's going, can I come in now? And they're like, no, I'm good. I'm here. You didn't lose them for a second.
No. And I think that's important as well, that you do something that engages people, because it's different, but it makes people think differently as well. Mm-hmm. Because when you think differently, it enables you to actually learn, so that it's not just about learning a factoid that you can regurgitate at a later point in time. It's learning an experience that you can actually relate to and tap into at a later point in time to apply in whatever type of work or activity you're involved in.
Very true.
My earphone's falling out here. See?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. I could still hear you when it was falling out, but let's not go there.
Oh my God. Okay.
We've got about 3 minutes left.
Sounds good. I think we are good. So one last bit. Of course, we haven't unveiled too much about the talk, but we've still kept the mysteriousness, which I think is good. But I think it would still be good to let our Spark participants know what do they take away from this overall experiential learning through this session of yours, Rich.
Yeah, well, I think, and I've got the sort of, the standard statements that you might want to put in, you put up on the website and stuff like that. And I know that sort of piece. But I think I'm going to kind of do my more sort of general conversation piece of the way what people would take away. Obviously, because we're using Lego and that Lego Serious Play, they're going to get that experience of doing that and the hands-on piece. But I think it's also important that we're looking at things that might address the way that change and disruptive change affects things and how people look at that. So we'll get people to maybe think about that in the way that they've been experiencing the conference. And we'll also get people to think about, the way that the organizations that they may work in, or we could play around with different things and how they can relate things to the organization. So I want people to actually go away with an insight about, that word feel is not just about feeling bricks, but how they feel about their experience as well. So I think it's a little bit of emotive tapping. I often talk when I speak to people about people in the change space that you have to have that balance between analytical and emotive to be able to work successfully in that space. And this is really going to help people to connect that both analytical and emotive side of things so that they can actually understand that feel is about feeling bricks when you're doing them in an analytical way, but also feelings are actually emotive things that happen inside your brain, and making that connect that goes together there.
Awesome. An awesome takeaway really for everybody. So thank you so much, Rich, for sharing that.
So we're going to wrap up for today. There's one thing that I'm looking on your website, Capillary Consulting, and he's raising his eyebrows like, "Ooh, what's she going to say?"
Well, I'm impressed that you pronounced it correctly, because some people don't pronounce. Some people do capillary.
Well, I have. That's fair. No, I have 13 years in healthcare, so if I don't know that, then there's a big issue going on here. That's another story. I could segue into healthcare stories forever. But I love your bio, and it's wonderful. The bottom here, though, it says, in 5 years, I want to be, and it says, writing more books, sharing my knowledge, and nurturing new generations to embrace change management. I love that. As a legacy that you want to leave, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
And we get to share you forever.
Awesome stuff. And it is important to me, I think, now I've kind of reached the stage in career and everything where it's about, paying it forward, giving back to people about my knowledge. It's not about me holding this, because we need to realize that there are more and more generations coming through the workplace that need to learn from us oldies that have been around for a few years in the space, and keep sharing that. Yes, I was called senior the other day. I'm not quite sure I was happy with that one, but
take it with the generous spirit in which I'm sure it was intended.
I took the senior to mean senior as in experience level of a senior level, not senior in name. That was the way I took it. Yeah,
well, I would totally align with that. That's what it meant, and I think it's really interesting for change practitioners and people like yourselves. And what in the same space that I work in, I think it's interesting when people see that, they can probably learn from what we are doing and also take that forward. So paying it forward, really important. And giving back to society what we have learned from it, giving back to the professional society in that sense. So
Exactly. Yeah.
So the very cool thing is that Spark the Change, the whole brand, is about giving back. It's about paying it forward and providing the opportunity for people to learn from senior experienced coaches. And I think it's an extremely valuable thing. I mean, any great leadership book you read talks about building a team who's smarter than you are. And so by attending a conference like this, it's an opportunity for you to not only meet and engage with people who could help you perform major change in your organization, it's a chance for you to enhance your own team with, nobody can do everything. Nobody has all the skills needed to bring change to an organization. And this is the way to instantly add, a couple of hundred people potentially to your team to help you bring that change vision to your organization. Mm-hmm. So if you are inspired to learn more, you can visit sparkthechangeindia.com. And it's an extensive website that showcases all the speakers. You'll be able to see the videos and podcasts from other people that we're going to be talking with. Registration information is there, everything you could possibly need. And one of the most important is to contact us. So if you have any questions about what's happening at Spark the Change, please use the contact us. We're real people and we will answer. And you can also check us out on Twitter at SparkChangeIn, where we're sharing a variety of things. And thank you so much, Rich. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Thank you.
And I don't get to hit you this time, so...
No.
Rah you.
I'm protected by the screen.
There you go. No accidental smackage. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sarika. And we will wrap up.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us today in the Spark Cafe. To learn more about Spark the Change India or any of the great speakers that you've been learning about, please visit sparkthechangeindia.com or check us out on Twitter at SparkChangeIN.